Make sure you turn in. This is a side scroller exclusive.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com. And most importantly, SidescrollersPlus.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Tuesday to your friends. Glad you're with us. We got a big show for you guys lined up. And nailed the intro today, Blabs. Nailed the intro. No broken music. No songs.
I love it. I do love it though when we started playing, both of our cameras just turned off. Like I was Netflix Blabs and you were a Rainbow Craig, so it was perfect. But anyway, Hello everybody. And happy birthday to my sister. Hi, happy birthday.
What's up, sis?
Big old 31 today.
31. Wow. Congratulations. See, after a woman turns 30, you just every year's 21. Congratulations.
Every year's 29.
29. Well, congratulations, the sister of America's sweetheart.
That's right.
There you go. All right, we got a big show for you guys lined up. Lots going on. We have a couple great guests today. Sometimes showing up on a Tuesday, sometimes not, but showing up from Las Vegas, Nevada today, I believe. Mr. Phillip Chan. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully everybody doing good today. Yeah, I am happy sunny Vegas. This is it's pretty good over here. Not too hot, not too cold, but very sexy. Good morning.
That's good. That's wonderful. Going full stereotypical right off the bat. This is wonderful today.
Yo, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me back.
No. Well, here's
super early.
you can't go stereotypical and then be like, "Yo, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it." you can't do that. But it's I'm glad you're with us today, Phillip. How's Vegas treating you?
It's good. It's good. Just here for the meetup, so I'm glad to come out here every year. Well, I've been coming out here for like the past 3 years now, and I met Craig the first time like 3 years ago, which is great. But yeah, like I'm super excited to get to meet everyone, and it's gonna be a lot of stuff that for Chan stuff today. It's gonna be wild.
It will indeed be wild.
It's kind of ironic that your last name is also Chan.
Yeah, I originally thought it was like Chinese. Like when I first heard that site, I thought it was like a Chinese website. I was like, "What is 4chan? What is this 4chan? This is my cousin who make this website." It was crazy.
Oh man, well we'll get into that a little bit. But joining us today for the first time, very excited to be joined by the greatness that is Verbal Riot. Look at that, man.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind, man. You're way too kind.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just, out here in California drinking coffee and riding earthquakes and all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, man. How'd that work out for you yesterday? You said you didn't really feel anything?
Didn't feel a thing. And it was like a 6.0. So apparently it was a pretty good shaker, but I felt nothing.
Well,
maybe I'm just too used to it.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's crazy. No buildings shaking, no buildings falling, no bigger waves or any tsunami.
You know what, man? I walked outside and everything seemed like a normal day. So I just, they tell you that, aftershocks can happen after that are just as big as the quake itself or bigger. But 24 hours, nothing happened. So I think we're in the clear.
So this isn't the one that's going to separate the what's the coastline from California? There's always that worry that
the big one, yeah. No, we haven't had that one yet, to my knowledge. But
what happens when how many people are going to die when that happens? Because it's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when.
Millions. Yeah. But here's the thing: I almost feel like it's Bigfoot at this point, right? They keep saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen, dude. They've been saying this since '88, right?
Well,
so. Yeah. I don't know, man. We're in 2025. I don't know if that big one is coming. And I guarantee you, as soon as I say that, it'll happen like within the show.
Right. I was gonna say, let's go and put the time code down for that one, Blabs, and we'll be saying goodbye to Verbal Riot and Phillip Chan as they are inside the San Andreas Fault. Oh no.
Yeah.
When that happens, just know I'll be praying for you guys. Okay, I'll be praying for you guys out in California, and just pretty much just you two. That's it. Everybody else, they can go to hell.
Dude, you should be praying for us now, man. I mean, we have Gavin Newsom like running California. Shit, we need all the prayers we can get.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Listen, we've been watched from afar. We just don't understand how you guys can continue to vote for that nonsense.
Oh, by the way, I know it's my first time here, and I want to have the etiquette. So, I know my mouth can get a little foul.
Oh, join us.
Okay, good. I'm like, I gotta watch my language sometimes. So
No.
It's okay. No need. Blabs has the worst mouth of us all, which is
Yes. It's really funny because everyone expects this like little flower because I'm so tiny, and then I'm like, you motherfucker, man. And you're like, oh my. Yeah.
Well, make sure you guys check out Verbal Riot's YouTube channel. You can find a link to it down below. Obviously, hit the subscribe button and continue to watch him grow. So over there, which is great. All right, we do have a big show for you guys lined up. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the 4chan hack. We have a GameStop employee who takes things extremely seriously, and I think we've all dealt with this type of GameStop employee at some point. Got a lot of Nintendo stuff. They have literally sent a modder to jail. Ooh, interesting. And we're going to get into this Katy Perry space journey for feminism a little bit later on. So we have a lot to go on. But as always, we like to start the show with Today in Gaming History. So Blabs, what do we have today?
Okay, good luck, everybody. April 15th, we have Kamen Rider Black, released in Japan.
God, today sucks.
Well, listen, it's a slim pickings, okay? Then we have Newtopia, which I literally had no idea what that was, but that was released in 1990. And then, guys, do you remember how fun the 2014 FIFA World Cup was? Well, they made an EA game the same year in 2014, and that was released 11 years ago today. And I just wanted to say, like, that was the last time the FIFA World Cup for me was really, really fun. 2014 Brazil won. Like, the world was just united. It was a good time then, you know?
The Vuvuzela was a big player back in from 2008 to 2014. That was a big deal. The Frank, which you still hear every once in a while.
Shakira was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she did shake that ass pretty well.
That's all Phil remembers.
Hips don't lie, man. Hips don't lie.
Well, some noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, not included on your list, include Baseball Stars 2, which back 33 years ago, this is a time when people would play all sorts of video games instead of just, the genre that you like. So, the arcade style sports games. Baseball Stars, really, really fun. Also, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, released for the Game Boy Advance in 2004, 21 years ago. Also, 2004 was 21 years ago. Fuck my life. And GT Gran Turismo 5, released for the PlayStation 3 17 years ago in 2008. Outrun Online Arcade, that was pretty fun. You love a little Outrun. For the Xbox 360 in 2009, you see No More Heroes. And you missed Trials Fusion. Oh man, Trials, man.
It's a day that ends in Y that I messed up.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. Do we have any porno games today?
Not that I saw.
You missed it. Is it? I'm not sure. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? That sounds.
Oh Jesus!
I was gonna include it, but it was an Android mobile game, so I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I think the answer is I think it's wrong. Yes, don't pick up women in dungeons.
I thought you meant like Leisure Suit Larry or one of those kind of games, but
we also have Bravely Second. Chat's going Bravely. You're missing Bravely Second. The 3DS. There you go, right there. You can find
Gourmet Warriors. Is that like a chef game?
I don't know.
Like Cooking with the Queen or something?
This is a released 6 years ago in 2019. I've never heard of Gourmet Warriors before.
I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah, it sounds like an Iron Chef kind of game or something.
Yeah, like you must like cut up the fish properly. I don't know.
I was watching. I turned on Iron Chef. They have it on Amazon Prime. I turned on Iron Chef not too long ago. Like the original version, the one from Japan.
Yeah.
It is wild. It is so good. I remember seeing that show 20-something years ago when it was first released. And my buddy was like, you don't even understand how good this show is. It show's fucking brilliant. Still is. And I know they adapted it to America for Food Network, but they have not done Iron Chef in a long, long time. I guess they kind of adapted it to like all their shows on Food Network, which is just all competition-based cooking shows. But Iron Chef, there was just some sort of, maybe it's just the mystique around Iron Chef, but man, that show is wild. It's so good. Phillip, do you ever watch Iron Chef?
Yeah, I watched it a little bit. I forgot the guy's name already. It was the guy that was in Double Dragon. He was the host.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
he was the host for a little bit. Yeah, I used to watch La Cuisine. Yeah, it's great.
That's right.
I used to watch Iron Chef.
There you go. That's right. La Cuisine. That was excellent. Look, glad everybody's here. Thank you, Blabs, for today in gaming history.
Oh, you're welcome.
Wonderful. Quick reminder that today, immediately after the show, you don't even need to go anywhere if you're watching us over on YouTube. We are going to raid the next episode of Blabs Versus. We'll be premiering it live, which Blabs Versus today, the original Legend of Zelda, as Blabs plays Legend of Zelda for the first time. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There are definitely some fucking highlights in this thing. You definitely want to tune in for this one. So first time experiencing a game like this, you don't need to go anywhere. Like I said, we're going to be rating it right here. Also, want to give you a heads up. We have a lot of good things happening over on Plus right now. We are currently sitting at an amazing 428 Side Scrollers Plus members, which is awesome. We had the big Sex with Hitler stream on Friday, which was exactly as you'd expect. It went really, really well. And
He lasted like 24 minutes.
Longer than Sex with Hitler did, yes. Which, if you missed it yesterday, I just wanted to highlight a small 26 seconds of my stream with Sex with Hitler, and just for you to check it out. Where are we going? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or 5? 4? 1? 5. I see 5s. All right. What? No! 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 Oh my God! Wasn't expecting that. So that was
Wait, this is the real thing?
This is a real thing called Sex with Hitler. Yes.
Yeah, Yellow Flash gifted us the game so kindly. He was.
So if you'd like to go check that out, you can. We actually have an opportunity right now for free. You can join Plus, get a free month, try it out for free if you like. Use promo code NOPE, which is my thought process while looking at that. NOPE, NOPE. Get a free month, give it a go, try it out, and check it out. In addition to watching the Sex with Hitler stream, you can also join me this weekend, because this weekend I'm doing some awesome WrestleMania watch parties, which are going to be available for free for everybody over on Plus, because we can't do it over on YouTube, because last time I tried to do it on YouTube, we got flagged and we just got that copyright notice removed, which is awesome. So that'll be exclusively over on Plus for free for everybody. So make a free account over at sidescrollersplus.com. If you'd like to use the promo code NOPE to join up, we'd obviously greatly appreciate it. We're closing in on those 500 members, as I mentioned. We'd love for you guys to join us over there and hit that 500 goal, because when we get to that 500, we will have our amazing burn Twitch downstream, where we just totally ruin our Twitch account and we get banned. It's going to be excellent. Looking forward to that. So once again, immediately after today's stream, Blabs versus Legend of Zelda. Looking forward to that. So lots of good things.
I have a little tease that we can play.
Oh yes, please, just to get everybody whet their appetite. Okay, get away, Blabs. Go to the left side of the screen. Shoot from afar. No. Yeah. There we go. Shoot it in the head. Oh God! Now you gotta go attack.
You'll never know if I actually beat it or not.
Well, there's a lot of spoilers in there, and that you actually made it to the first level. But
no, you never know if I beat it or not.
That's a good point. I guess we'll find out today when we check out you playing through for the first time.
I remember my first time playing Zelda.
Oh
Good
yeah.
times, man. That was back when they had the gold cartridge, and the original NES and all that good stuff, man. That you know what? Zelda was my first RPG.
Zelda was my first RPG as well, and maybe my last. I'm not a huge RPG. It's an action RPG for sure. But it's funny. I was watching a video of this guy who played He played through the second quest of The Legend of Zelda, because Blabs, once you beat the original Legend of Zelda, very early on, you learn that there is a second quest in the game. It's the same map, but all the dungeons and everything are placed in different spots, and it's super cryptic. I watched a video of a guy play through it for the first time, something I've actually never done, and he did it without the internet. So he did it like the old school way, go through, tracked everything, made a map, and he said it took him over 20 hours to beat the second quest of Zelda, just grinding through and having to figure it out. It was really, really fun to watch. So
Wow.
yeah, great stuff. I don't think I could have the patience to do that these days. So
Yeah, I never played the second quest. Like once I finished it, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yep. I think for like most people. All right, give it up for Meta Shogun, Midnight, Good RG, and Dan Barticle. Or is that Dan Article?
Barticle?
Dan Barticle. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for becoming brand new Side Scrollers Plus members. We appreciate that, guys. That's massive. And once again, use that promo code NOPE to get a free month over there on a month. Mercenary says, we don't for any of this. It's voted for. Oh, you don't vote for any of this. Yes. Thank you, Mercenary. Also a California as well. B. Barrett came in and says, Severus. Blabs, I'll let you read that because I don't even know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so B. Barrett says, Severus, Crow laughed, and it wasn't his usual quivering treble either, but cold and sharp. Yes, Severus does seem the type, doesn't he? And he's basically insinuating that now with the new casting, there's going to be a whole lot of racial undertones going on, and it's shit.
Well, that gives us a great opportunity before we get to hard news to talk about this Harry Potter blowback, Blabs. As you've become an outspoken critic. You are the hater of Harry Potter now.
I mean, being critical is now a hater, then absolutely. But yeah, my Twitter has been blowing up nonstop because I posted a whole bunch of facts about like the casting behind, or like I should say the source material behind Severus Snape on Instagram too. I've been called, I'm having a tantrum and everything, all for calling out Warner Brothers for censoring the fans on the announcement. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. But hey man, every subscriber's getting me closer to 7K on YouTube, so shout out. Thanks, guys.
Rebel Riot, you've also been fairly critical of this, and you had a post kind of hit a little bit yesterday over on X in response to this. Why don't you read that in your own voice?
Yeah, I was just saying, look, man, if you're going to make Snape black, then I want him to be the blackest Snape that ever snaped, right? Like, I want him to be black. Like, I want him to have an afro. I want him to drink, like, out of the goblet of crunk juice. I want him to, like, speak, cast spells and jive. Like, I want him to be, like, black. Like, if we're going to do it, go all the way, man. Like, none of this half British shit and, him talking in old English. No, I want him to go all in.
I love that idea. And actually, just like, let's just take it a step further. We had a remake of The Wizard of Oz called The Wiz in the 70s. And that was like the Black Wizard of Oz. Why don't we just do Black Harry Potter all the way from top to bottom? I think that'd be awesome.
See, what's funny is I get a lot of shit for this because I've been very outspoken about how much I hate race swapping and gender swapping in media. I think it's lazy. I think it's stupid. And worst of all, it's completely pandering, right? So I have been talking about this for a long time. But, people bring up the fact that because I always talk about my love of The Wiz, right? Love The Wiz. And they're like, well, isn't that race swapping? You're a hypocrite. I'm like, no, guys, that was different. That was more of a parody, and it was more of it's kind of like, the scary movies with the Wayans brothers, spoofing Scream. It was more on the lines of that. So when you're talking like that kind of movie, that's not race swapping. Race swapping is taking an established white character, right? And you're trying to retcon it now into a different race or a different sex, and I just think that it's uninspired, and Hollywood is not benefiting from this. I don't understand why they keep doing it. Man,
there was something, Matt. Like, I watched The Wiz as growing up as a kid. I loved it. I thought it was fun, and you could tell it was a different telling of the story itself, And but yeah, I think that'd be super fun to see a all black version of. Or a Wiz version of Harry Potter. Blabs, would you like to see that?
Oh, funny enough, there was like these posters made like a decade ago or whatever, where they just race swapped every single Harry Potter character. So like the main like 6 kids and all black. And like some of the Harry Potter actors were like, "This is amazing. I hope they do this." And it's like, what the frick? Like it's wild. I would all be all for a parody, right? Not the official thing. But
Right.
just for shits and giggles, I literally asked Grok to show me Black Snape, and it couldn't do it. I said, please draw Black Snape, and it just gave me Alan Rickman. I was like, bro, even Grok doesn't want it. So, like, it's bad.
Well,
But add one more thing to this, and then I'll shut up because I know Craig will be like, that's it, you've had your 2 seconds. Even Katie Leung, who plays Cho Chang, actually commented on Papa's post yesterday, and she said there's no one better to play Snape. It's like, bitch, you worked with Alan Rickman.
That's crazy. That
the
is crazy.
audacity to say that no one is better than him to play is like, oh yeah. Anyway, I'm fine.
well,
Yeah, we Asians denounced her. Yeah.
Yes, dude, she's nuts. Like 10 years ago, like not even 10 years ago, she was like, "Oh, Harry Potter cast were racist. I experienced so much racism on set. J.K. Rowling's
Jesus.
transphobic. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, you're a bitch. Yeah.
So just for giggles, I did my best to go in and make use Grok to do exactly what you requested here, Verbal Riot. You said, and I quote, I want to do the blackest Snape that ever snaped. I want a full-on afro. I want him to drink from the goblet of crunk juice, walk with the dope-ass cane, and he better cast spells and jive. So you know what? Thank you, Grok. It has been done.
Oh my
god! He's literally
Love
speaking.
it.
He's got the jive book down here, the goblet of
Love
crunk juice, and he's got a pimp cane here. We are missing.
no.
See, this is what AI was meant for.
Yes,
Stuff like
yes.
this.
Listen, I understand the critiques of AI art, right? But this is just brilliant stuff. So thank you, Grok, for that.
And again,
awesome.
I don't understand it. Like even from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense because usually when these studios race swap, it's almost like they could just interchange the character and it's no big deal, right? But the problem with Harry Potter is when you change Snape to black, you're changing a lot of things, man, because there's things that happen to Snape in the book that could be seen as racist as shit if it's done to a black person by a group of white folks. You know what I mean? So like when they hang him from a tree, are they going to go there with it? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna give them all white hoods instead of their black uniforms.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are they going to do it? Oh, and I'm praying that they cast Hermione as black. I pray just because who's going to have the balls to call her a mudblood after that, right?
I know.
Like this opened up some bad doors, man.
It
And
really did.
it makes no sense even from like a pandering point of view.
Well, I'm trying to modify the image to make him have a big old fro.
Oh no.
So we'll see. We'll see if that happens or not. I'll let you know. But first, Jag came in member for 18 months. Says, I remember the Iron Chef with rhubarb exploding juicers everywhere. Thank you for that. Mystery says forever scarred of or scared of option 5. Yes. So that's the one thing that I don't think the context truly is. And when I showed the clip of my gameplay with Saxon with Hitler, on the bottom of the screen, there's options 1 through 5, and you start with number 1, which is all the clothes are on. And as you make your way through number 5, or other things happen, right? And number 5 was very violently sexual, I would say. So, anyways, it was messed up. So yes, I will always be scared. And
Are you going to play part 2?
Luigi came in with the 3. Says, Blaz, you're fired. 2014 World Cup wasn't fun for the Brazilians at all. You missed Gran Turismo when it was good. Shake my head. Sorry, Luigi. Appreciate that. Blabs is fired. We know that. And to answer your question, am I going to do part 2 of Sex Fiddler? Not anytime soon. we would need to have a lot more plus members for that. Spoon says, did someone say my name? No, Spoon. Sorry. Give it up for J Ray and Robot for me, who became plus members. Love to see that, guys. Thank you very much. Heading over to sidescrollersplus.com. Use promo code NOPE and get a free month over there. Rivian says, Waiting on Craig to play the second quest of Sax with Hitler. It won't let me type the real title. Also, Montez. Yes, Rivian. Thank you very much. We're going to hit our Montez goal today. And I think that Verbal Riot will be the one selecting Montez because he has no idea what we're talking about, I would imagine.
0.
Raptor came in and says, Craig, are you ready for WrestleMania 41? And what match are you excited for? Yes. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to join me, Raptor Kratos, for our watch along this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be watching exclusively for free over at sidescrollersplus.com. The match I'm looking forward to most is probably the triple threat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Yeah. Looking forward to that. I also am intrigued by the Gunther match with Jey Uso because I want to see what they do with that. So
I hope Jey Uso gets his ass kicked. I hate that guy.
Wouldn't it be funny if they just totally crushed him and just squashed him back to mid-carder? You know?
I don't. Yeah, his push has been really inauthentic, man. Like I don't like what they did with Jey Uso at all. Like give him time as Intercontinental Champion or something, man. Don't just throw him into Gunther. You know.
Well, he can yeet, and that's the thing.
That's about it.
Yeah. Suffer says, I worked around the Orange County area and only felt a little jiggle yesterday, but it was cool to see see the early earthquake warning work. Scared the crap out of me, nearly crashed my parked car.
Yeah, I think it was pretty loud, man.
Joey says, hey, Craig, you excited about WrestleMania? What matches are you most looking forward to? Joey, thank you very much. I appreciate the support, and hopefully the last about 30 seconds ago answer your question. Eldred Jonas came in with the 10, says, how does it feel knowing to line your pockets from manipulating people and fueling this asinine culture wars over children's media?
Feels great.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you very much for the 10. Appreciate your support. And fueling the asinine...
manipulating anyone's opinions, but this is clickbait. I need that Tom Hardy meme. This is bait.
Well, no, and that's fine. And I'll say this. I think this is actually a great opportunity to talk about this. We respect games and entertainment more so than the idea that it's just, we don't think of them as children's media. Because if you look at what the demographics say about video games, the average gamer is 33 years old. So does that make it children's media? No, it doesn't. It means that it's media for literally everybody. Unlike you, we actually think that games have always been inclusive. And if you look back in the history of video games, it has. And all we're saying is keep it inclusive. Just don't force it. That's all. There's no reason for forcing anything. So thank you for your 10, and we appreciate that. And I'm sure there'll be many more 10s to follow after. So we appreciate that. Give it up for Eldred Jonas, everybody, for giving us a 10 super chat. Modest came in and says, hey, bada bing. What's this now? Discount rush hour? Oh, no. Where's Vlad, dog? This is wickety whack, yo.
No.
Sorry you don't know how many urban, don't know many urban vernacular. Urvidachi Mimiche is also Ching Chu Ping Pong Egg Roll.
Jesus Christ.
So this, by the way, this is totally done. Just totally by coincidence. So, Robo Ride, just a heads up. Generally, when Phillip is on, we have Flawed on as well. And
got it.
Flawed also happens to be black.
Yeah, I know Flawed.
So, Blabs called them Rush Hour. So,
Rush Hour 4.
We have Rush Hour 4. So, now... we have the blaxploitation of Rush Hour 4 here today. All right.
Oh, so I have to be the guy to like replace Chris Tucker, right?
That's right. That's right. It's right. And yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking we were talking about the remake. They're going to do a last Friday. Did you see that? That was announced from Ice Cube.
Man. I have a weird love hate with Friday because I loved the first one, hated the second one, and then the third one was pretty good. It was okay. I think they should just stop at that, man. But hey, money's money,
dude. I think making it the last Friday and making a Craig like an old man now, maybe replacing his dad. You know,
they have to. Craig has to be the father now, right? And it's about his son, and you know, they'll do that whole thing.
You wonder if Craig got out of the hood, you know?
Right, exactly. Who did he marry? You know, did he go with Felicia's sister? You know, that.
Who knows? But you're right, man. Friday 1 was. We actually just talked about this earlier this week. Friday 1, Friday 3, then Friday 2 sucked.
No one really likes Friday 2, man. It was weird. It was a weird sequel.
Yeah, Next Friday was not good. Took it to the suburbs. Nobody wanted to hear about the suburbs, and that's crazy. All right, let's get into it. We do have a lot going on today. We're with you. So it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment, friends. It's time for hard news. All right, a little bit of nostalgia to start off hard news today. As I saw this video going around, and this is the video game aisle at Kmart in the year 2000, 25 years ago. If you went to Kmart, this is what it was like. I love that there's this kid and he's just staring blankly at these, third party. There's like a third party knockoff controller here. And what's amazing about this is I was watching this, I was thinking, he's thinking, what could be if my parents would just give me this controller? How much fun would I have right now? He's just scoping this out, love it. just what could be on the other side. There's an N64. You got dad walking older brother. Guy busting out a CD Walkman.
Wow,
Let's go. Oh man, now he's got the chili bowl cut. That's like kind of early. That's like mid 90s right there. This is the last holdover of the chili bowl. Wow, should I go chili bowl with my next haircut?
Please don't do that now.
Yeah, go full Dumb and Dumber, man. Just go all out.
Yikes. Do you remember though, like going to Costco and they would just have like these pallets full of like video games you could just pick up and go? Great. I miss that.
Well, you know what I remember specifically was the Toys R Us. The Toys R Us where you take the
code or whatever, like a little promo thing.
Yes, that's very much what I remember for sure. Dad has to show, he's got to show dad, this is the game I want. It's the Game Boy Color. Oh, look at that. I think this game, you know what's the irony about this? I think this was on Today in Gaming History a couple days ago.
That's funny.
By the way, $29.99.
I know.
Blabs, do a little digging on that. See what's the inflation rate? 2000 to 2025. How many monies is that today? Just curious. So
it'd have to be at least $60.
I would say 50 to 55 bucks. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably doubled. The poor kid gets walked away. Sorry, we're not getting that.
It's apparently $46 in today's dollars.
You said 36?
46.
46. Okay. Look at this kid literally like, please God. Please just let me.
It's funny because it doesn't even really seem like a whole lot of stuff is locked.
I'm sure it was locked. Yeah, there you go. There's your lock.
There it is. Yeah, but it's just like one simple thing. There wasn't all these super electronic security devices on everything. Simpler times.
Hey, Blabs, do me a favor. Mm-hmm. This is the Pokemon. All three of these Pokemons were $30. Look on price charting right now, pricecharting.com. See how much these Game Boy Pokemon games are worth today. If somebody bought these in 2000, kept it sealed, how much would it be worth today? I'm going to say, let's play the Price is Right game here. Verbal Riot, what do you think these Pokemon games would be worth if they were kept factory sealed for in 2025?
Now, are we talking individually or all three together?
Let's go individually because Blabs can't.
So just individual. Man, because that was a big game back in the day. I'm gonna go maybe 150. I'll go 150.
Okay. 150. Okay. Phillip, what about you?
So I believe an unopened version of Emerald is like $350.
Okay.
So I would say for like the OG yellow, blue, and red, I would say maybe like $4.
See, I was gonna say between $700 and $800. Blabs, do you have them pulled up?
I do. So I have the red one pulled up specifically.
Okay.
Here we are. So Game Boy red version, And it's saying complete price $348, new price $2,150,
God.
graded 6,000. The box only 180, and then the manual is 24.
Look up Emerald, because I think that's the most valuable one.
That's crazy.
Pokemon Emerald, which Emerald is not listed on here, but like think about what that's a better return on investment than gold. Like literally, you know, you go or anything. How much is that?
$648 complete price. New price 1,000, graded 5,000, box only 260. The manual alone is $30. 120 if you're really curious. Wow.
Well, there you go. Now everybody feels stupid for opening their games and actually playing them.
Yeah.
All right. I have a sin that I need to confess.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so when I was in middle school, high school, I met this guy named Ricky, and I was like, oh, he has an unopened original collector's edition. It's just like the original version of
What
Final
have you
Fantasy
done,
VII.
Phillip?
And I didn't know he had shrink wrapped for a reason. He didn't open it.
Oh no, Phillip!
I was like, I want to play this game right now. I fucking
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh my God,
I don't want to hear the story. Don't even want to hear the story.
Yeah, I'm cringing just listening to it.
You shithead, that's awful.
I can just feel my asshole tightening listening to this story. Like, what the fuck?
Phillip,
What have you
state
done?
your claim.
Yeah,
Confess now.
I didn't know that he was gonna sell it, so I opened it.
You son of a
And
bitch.
Ricky came into the room and he was like, "What the fuck did you do?" I was like, "I wanted to play the game," and he was like, "I was gonna fucking sell it." And this was back in like 2000 and like 2003, 2004.
Have you apologized to Ricky? I feel bad for Ricky. How do you
We're
know
no longer
that?
friends.
Hold on, Phillip. I need to know something. This is actually a very legit question. On that day, did Ricky beat the fuck out of you?
Yeah.
Did you get an ass whooping that day?
Did you get
He
new
couldn't
asshole?
beat me up because his mom was home.
Well, did he beat your ass the next day?
No, we just stopped being friends after that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, real quick.
Dishonor on your
Blabs-
cow, bro.
That's tough. Hold on. Price. Okay, what was the game specifically?
Oh, Pokemon
Final
Emerald?
Fantasy 7.
It was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, and it was boxed in wrapping.
It was boxed, unopened, and it wasn't the one that had the green strip on the side where it's like the whatever special edition or whatever. It's the original.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow,
Phillip.
man.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
The
real
chat is
quick.
judging you so hard right now for your sin.
I want to make sure I have the right one because I have one from Japan, but I want to make sure that I have one for this is for the PlayStation, correct? The original PlayStation.
Yeah, the original. It wasn't the greatest hits one. It was the original one.
Okay, I want to make sure I pull up the right one. Okay,
Dude, that deserves trial by combat, man. Like that's
Yeah, man. I'm surprised he didn't beat me up.
I
Is
agree.
that something that, like, anytime someone's like, "Do you have regrets?" that just flashes in front of your eyes? Like,
Yeah.
that's the moment. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hold on.
Damn, bro.
I want to beat your ass right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I want to kick your ass, Phillip.
yeah. My heart was breaking just listening to that. I'm like, oh no, I know where this is going.
I like this comment. Don't open other people's games, you psycho.
Mother.
I was like 13.
Listen,
I was a fucking idiot.
Phillip, I'm gonna tell you this right now. When I see you, I will punch you for Ricky.
I will
Just-
allow it.
All right, sounds good. Because Ricky deserves to beat your ass because right now that graded sealed copy of Final Fantasy VII that you opened with your little pipsqueak little hands scribbling all over because you wanted to play Final Fantasy VII is worth $5,871, Phillip.
Phillip, you did this. You're why we can't have nice things.
Now there
Screw
is a
this
word.
man.
there is a
Boo him.
there is a workaround, right? Like there is a way you can reseal it, right? You can reapply the sealing, but yeah, I don't know, man.
It ain't a natty. It ain't a natty. It's got to be a natural, and that ain't it. Phillip, I love you, but I lost respect for you, buddy. Sometimes you can't live down your mistakes, and this may be one of them, Phillip.
Sometimes sharing, you don't have to do that. It's fine. You don't have to share sometimes.
Yeah. I should have asked him before. Yeah, like a regular person, not like a fucking idiot.
It's okay. You know what? I've actually done something kind of similar, so I'll come and save Phil for a little bit here. Right? It's not the same, but it's similar. So when I was in the 5th grade,
look at her and boo her. Start booing everybody.
No,
tomatoes. Throw the tomatoes. Throw them.
It's not a video game. When I was in the 5th grade, some dude decided to put a baseball card on the counter and just left it there. So I didn't know what it really was. I was like, oh, look, it's a baseball card. Let me just draw on it. And I started drawing on a baseball card and Sharpie. He's like, what are you doing? I was trying to sell that. I'm like, we're 5th graders. Who's going to buy a baseball card? Now, mind you, it was a worthless card. It's not like one of those valuable ones or anything. But he got so mad at me that he took my eraser from me. And I was pretty upset about it because it was a really cool little rolly. This really cool little rolly eraser and everything. So yeah, I drew on a baseball card in the 5th grade.
Labs, you're
I was a lot younger than Phillip was, and I also didn't take somebody else's video game and open it up. I just drew an orange highlighter on a card that was worthless.
I'm getting a report that was actually the Mickey Mantle rookie card that Blabs was drawing on from 19.
Now let's be real. If it was a real, like, genuine card, this 5th grader wouldn't be lying around in a classroom full of other 5th graders. Let's be real.
Look at this. Joey says, Phil, you need Jesus. Go and repent. Mercenary says, nothing of value was lost. Mercenary, $5,800 was lost.
Yeah, what do you mean?
And the collector's mindset is so like sociopathic almost. You know what I mean? Like for a collector, that is like people, have heart attacks or stuff like that, man. There's comic books that I keep in a safe to this day just because I'm that neurotic about the value of the books.
Hey, at a certain point, I think we've all seen the tremendous investment that they can be. Case in point, the $30 Pokemons here would be worth hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars today had you just put them in a safe and let them sit.
Yellow Flash showed me one of his buys from the last Comic-Con he went to, and it was like a Justice League number one, dude. Damn. So he could probably send his kids to college on that.
Hey, it's funny. I was actually just talking to Flash this morning about collecting, and that brought up I was like, I really have no idea how much my collection is worth. I mean, I like these games that are behind me here. These are all boxed and stuff, but I got like all my good stuff is in my closet over here, and I got a number of things that are fairly rare. Like I showed them. I've showed off this DuckTales game that there was only 150 of them made. It's a gold DuckTales NES card, which is like a promotional thing when they did DuckTales Remastered. And like several of these things that I own are worth several $1,000s, but I've never actually gone in and priced it out and seen how much my collection is worth. So I threw that out there. Look, Eric came in. Oh, look at this. Eric over on X just tweeted this out. Eric from Yumi in the Movies. Look at how wonderful this is. This is one of my prized possessions. And is this, I do believe, is this in wrapping here? Look at that. An emerald here. Look at that.
Wow.
Full setup here. Wow.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
Emerald's
nice.
so good. It's one of my favorites.
There you go. I've never
Are
been.
you gonna open that one too, Phil?
Oh shit!
No. Oh my.
But what I was saying was that I realized I never actually priced out my collection. So maybe Blabs, when you're down next time.
I know you said spreadsheets. I was like, how do you want to categorize it? Do you want to go by like console, year released, developing company? What do you want to do?
Well, apparently, there's an app called Game Eye, which will allow
that's no
you.
fun. It does everything for you. That's boring.
Right, I know. Blabs likes to bust her ass on them spreadsheets there.
They're
but yeah,
so fun. Its organization is great.
Organization. Fucking nerd. It's ridiculous.
I wish I had that mindset.
You should see my Harry Potter spreadsheet. I have a sheet just for every single thing, like Lego, books. Yeah.
Hypernut says, Philip, how could you? That should be a crime. Oh my gosh. I feel like Blabs, I feel like this entire segment needs to be broken down and put on our YouTube channel just to shame Philip. Just to shame him.
No, I don't want to shame him. I even tried to help him out with my baseball card story where I just drew an orange highlighter on a worthless card. I found
He was an eager young man. You know, he didn't know what he was doing at the time.
You made the worst mistake of your life.
I'm sure he's fixed it since then. Ricky, we're so sorry.
Other people's stuff anymore.
You
know how you make it right? You find that man right now and you give him $5,000.
You find Ricky, you go give him $5,876. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think
you got him on Facebook?
I think I might be friends with him on Facebook, but like I believe he's in like Massachusetts. So.
Okay, hold on.
We're going to Massachusetts.
No. Hold on. And this is the beauty of having a show that we do every single day. You're friends with them on Facebook. What if we brought him on for like 10 minutes next time you're on, Philip? Okay. And we just saw his reaction and be like, hey, do you remember this time? And you kind of retold him the story, which naturally he'd be like, yes, of course I remember that, Philip. And we had some sort of reconciliation between the two to close that wound, not for you, Philip, because you're the one standing there holding the knife, but for Ricky over here. What if we were able to close that wound and then you gave him $6,000?
Wait, 6? What?
Well, I mean, that's how much you cost him.
That's minus $6,000 for me.
Okay, well, maybe we don't give him $6,000. Maybe we don't give him $6,000. Maybe we just get you guys together and talk through this moment that's clearly sat with you for a long time, Phil.
Imagine if this guy Ricky has like a diary, like a burn book, or like Death Note, and it just has Philip's name in there or something.
Right. Listen, Phil, we could be saving your life right now. He could be Steve Buscemiing you over here, writing down your, like, putting lipstick on after you finish closing this off. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Cross my name off.
Yeah,
voodoo is real, man. Voodoo is real. So
you're on that Death Note, man. You got to get your name out of there. You're gonna die.
Phil, I'm serious. We need to get a hold of Ricky and see if we can make this happen. Close the wound. All right. Make sure this is good.
Ricky's probably like, I forgot all about this. I am like a billionaire. Who knows?
Well, then it wouldn't matter. But either way, it would remove the
content.
Listen, Phil was talking about this is something that's been weighing him down for the better part of a while. All right. He did it when he was a young man. And now we're going to help him lift that weight off his shoulders by talking to Ricky.
We're going to get rid of that one regret in Phil's life.
That's right. That's right.
Bring some closure to this.
That's right. Yes. This is important. This would be a very important thing. Look, Philip, you're going to be on very, very soon. I'm sure you will. You need to get a hold of Ricky and get Blabs, and Blabs will facilitate this. All right, Blabs will make sure this happens.
We'll all go to Massachusetts together. I've never been. I want to go to Boston. I want to see history.
No. I'm not flying Philip across the country to do this. All right, because number one, Ricky may stab him in the neck.
That's true.
Philip, there needs to be the internet in between them. Okay, and we can do it right here on the show. And this would be perfect. So let's make this happen. I am dead serious about this. Let's get Ricky. Let's get a hold of him. Figure out what's going on. Philip, are you open to this idea?
I will reach out to Ricky. I haven't talked to him since high school.
How long has it been?
God, it's been almost 20 years.
No,
more than that.
It's the random time to go and message and be like, "Hey, remember that time I ruined your shit?"
Yeah,
weirdly enough, this sounds like it'd be a great movie, by the way.
I agree.
Like a road trip movie, like 13 years later, you travel across country to meet that friend that you screwed over.
Yeah, I think this would be great. I think this is one of those things where you go in and you have closure, and this would be an important thing. So
I could be the ref. Oh my god, this is getting so much fun.
Blab's gonna show up with a referee outfit on. Like
I used to be a soccer ref. I could totally do it. Let's go.
You gotta like knock on Ricky's door as soon as he opens up. You just put a knife on the ground and step back and let him go. Like,
right.
Go get it, guys.
You know what to do.
Oh my god. This could be special. I'm just saying.
Wait, what if Ricky's now Rachel?
And this is like the moment in Philip. She's like, I had everything going for me, until Phillip, altered by life. Like, Phillip made Ricky trans.
Oh
All right.
no.
Jim
This fault all along.
says, here's another 10 to line your pocket, you manipulative grifters. Hey, Jim, let's go. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the grifter monies today. That's outstanding. Saint came into the 10, says, this is Rush Hour TV show. Phil is back to reprise his role. Riot replaced Flawed, like how most movie to TV show adaptations do it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Thanks, Saint. Michael came in and said, love the show. Craig, been a fan since Screw Attack. Your Texas Rangers have a new minor league team debuting in my hometown today, the Hub City Spartan Burgers. What? Yes, the mascot is a hamburger, and it's glorious. Montez. I'm sorry, Blabs, can you please look for the Hub City Spartan Burgers, please? I didn't know that the Rangers have a minor league team called this, but this sounds like a new
it's
hat.
a real thing.
Well, that's what Michael's saying. So yes, Michael,
since
thank you so much.
2025, it just started.
That's what Michael was saying. Will you please pull up the logo so I can see if it's something I want on a hat, because it sounds ridiculously cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pull up their wiki page for you. So here it is. There's that. Let's click on that one.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's amazing.
So you get that, and then you got that one too.
Go
That
back to-
actually would be fun on a hat.
Yeah, go back to the first one. That's awesome.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
fun.
I love that there's a burger with a baseball bat. Oh, that's excellent. Rivian came in and says, Nintendo stuff used to be in a glass case. Now they have it. Now they keep it in the bank vault. Let's go. Thank you very much, Rivian. Appreciate that. Excellent stuff. Also, Marmalin came in and says, my cousin had the original figures of all the Star Wars figures in boxes and sealed them for years. Then his twin sister went up in his room and determined these should be open.
Oh no. But at the same time, Star Wars figurines don't have value anymore. So like you should have sold them then. Yeah.
And Julian says, there should be a Rush Hour Montez. Just saying, there should be. Jillian, that's good. Well, we'll do our best to get to Montez. We're halfway to our Montez goal today. I think we're going to hit it. We do see every single one of your super chats, every single one of your direct donations. We'll read every single one of them before the end of the show. But let's move on, as if we can, after Philip's story. And Phil, thank you for your bravery in that story, telling us, which is great.
You're welcome.
You gave us
Even
so
though
much.
now you're the most hated man on social media, but that's
right.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes, we should definitely clip that out and just say, boo this man.
I want to save him. I want to help. I feel almost bad.
Well, if you don't do it, I'll do it, Blabs.
Oh, you know what? That's fair. The blood's off my hands. I'm not ruining Philip's day.
I'm just kidding. You're going to do it.
No.
All right. Okay. Hey, who here loves Legos?
Me.
who doesn't?
Everybody loves Legos. Well, it looks like Lego has made a pretty big move, as Lego has dropped diversity terms from its annual sustainability report. As looks like they're dropping the whole DEI aspect of things, as it's no longer no longer vogue to do that, or cool. Lego has cut diversity terminology from its annual sustainability report, despite trumpeting. You think that's a pun for sure?
Yeah.
Easily.
The recent additions of diverse characters to make the toys more inclusive. Most recently, the world's biggest toy maker introduced sets of characters with sunflower lanyards, which are worn to indicate a hidden disability. Okay. At the time, its chief diversity and inclusion officer, Lauren Van Stackelberg. Okay, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. 1,000% Lauren Van Stackelberg is white. Just throwing it out there. Said the company was embedding diversity and inclusion in everything that it did. As part of its mission, Lego has added characters of different skin tones and cultures, as well as physical and non-visible disabilities to its playsets. Figures with limb differences, I'm sorry, I'm reading this for the first time. That's spectacular. Down syndrome, anxiety, and vitiligo have been warmly received by children. However, despite these efforts, Lego's sustainability statement contains no mention in terms such as diversity, LGBTQ, and people of color, all of which appeared in 2023. The previous document also mentioned diversity and inclusion in 3 places, including the opening remarks by Lego's chief executive, but the phrase is absent from the latest report. So there we are. We have and there's these little name tags. They say this is why you should care about me. I'm special. So the tone shift from the Danish company is seemingly the latest example of the Trump administration's crackdown on diversity initiatives having an effect in Europe. Several companies across the EU have reportedly received letters from U.S. representatives telling them that the rollback applies to firms around the world looking to do business with the states. So asked about the altered language, LEGO said it remains fully committed to its diversity and inclusion initiatives. The diversity page on LEGO's group website is also still live. LEGO said every year we review and adapt our reporting to ensure it complies with the latest requirements and reflects our plans and results. The 2024 sustainability statement does not represent a change in our ongoing approach to diversity and inclusion. Lewis Eldridge, the head of good work, what does that mean? At the campaign group Share Action, said removing references to diversity and inclusion from the company reports sent a concerning signal to investors. She said removing unfair barriers to prevent disadvantaged groups from competing on a level playing field is a good thing for workers and business. It is at this critical juncture, companies must make it clear to investors and their customers that they remain committed to tackling unfairness and inequality in the workplace. Now is not the time to step back. Thoughts?
Down syndrome Legos.
Yeah, I didn't even know Lego went DEI. Maybe I'm just out of touch with Lego.
No, they have. So they've done a lot of stuff with the LGBT community. They make a lot of marketing for it. They're like, oh look, I'm so gay. Here's Legos just for me.
But what does a gay Lego look like?
It's just rainbows.
Right?
It's just rainbows. It's literally just rainbows. And some of the sets, there's literally one set that's everyone's awesome. And it's like a rainbow. That's it. And that all these minifigures are different rainbow colors. So a lot of kids like it because it's a rainbow and you have all these different colored minifigures and everything. They don't actually care about the messaging behind it. But the adults are like, oh, it's for me. It's lesbians. Yay. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? But
wow.
Yeah, so I will wait and see until this June, which is Pride Month, to see what they're going to be doing with Lego, because every single year for the last few years, they've been doing these Pride things, LGBT alphabet stuff. So yeah, I will wait and see. I'm going to wait and see.
I'm intrigued because I looked up Lego Down syndrome.
Oh no.
And this is the picture that it came with. So I got to be honest, this is the picture that they put out there.
Yeah, those are for the Duplo stuff.
They have helmets.
You got Downs with helmets, damn, bro.
Damn, that is kind of fucked up. Now that you say it, I was thinking that the kid was riding a skateboard, but the picture that they have is the Down syndrome.
That's nasty work, man.
That's fucked up.
Nasty work.
Oh my god. That's pretty fucked up. Just for giggles, let's go over here and take a look at what Grok would say to create create a
Draw me a Downs Lego minifigure.
Yes. Okay, Blabs, go. I'm sorry. You continue the conversation while I do this. Yes.
Right. So again, honestly, even chat was saying it with Kirsha too, saying, oh, you know how a DEI is being turned into bridge. So that's another point here where it's well, wait and see, what are they changing the terminology to? Are they also noticing that people do not give a shit about all this agenda and it's actually making them lose money? And they're like, oh wait, never mind. Let's pull back the reins on that. We'll see. But on the subject of Lego, since Lego makes Harry Potter sets, I really wonder how they're going to do this new Snape stuff, because they're going to completely change Snape's minifigure. And our children going to want this and be like, that's not Snape. That's not Snape. We've never had Snape like that in over 20 years of Lego, So it is very, we'll see how it goes. How's Down syndrome Lego minifigures going?
This is the best one of them all. I'm just saying, this is exactly
oh my God.
I think this is outstanding. I'm just saying, people with Down syndrome are the happiest people ever. They really are. Yeah. It's I think this is accurate. Just a big old smile on their face, ready to go. I love it. I love that. Well, anyways,
they know they could do wild shit and get away with it. That's probably why they're always happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because no one's going to blame a person with Downs if they do something bad. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You can't arrest somebody with Downs. I mean, what kind of asshole are you, right?
Right. Like, no joke. Like, dude,
You're the cop who takes down the guy with Downs.
it's the fucking happiest people in the world over here. I'm just saying, like, I love it. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. Blabs will certainly keep an eye out for Legos in what do you say, June? June is Pride Month?
Pride Month and all that.
All right. Okay, I saw this video being passed around, and you know, the GameStop thing is nuts. So I wanted to show this video. And look, there's people going in, and there's a couple layers to this. Number one, the GameStop employee. Number two, the idea of we're going to film everything and everything is content, right? Even going to GameStop now. So I want to show this video real quick. Look at this interaction between this guy, because I think this GameStop guy, he takes his job very, very seriously.
Do you guys buy gaming consoles here? This is the GameSphere 630, the second model, not the first one.
Blabs, you familiar with the GameSphere 630?
I thought that was a bowling ball for a second, so no.
It doesn't exist. The GameSphere 630 is not a real thing. This is
Okay, I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
It has like a boombox.
I'll tell you right now, we won't take it. That company doesn't make gaming systems.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to get much out of it.
We don't take them.
For real?
We don't take them because it's not a real console.
No, it's a classic.
I need you to leave.
No, come on, man.
I need you to leave, or I have to call the cops, man.
Jeez.
Actually, please don't call the cops.
Then leave.
$15 cash. Okay. No, let's. Can we start over?
One more time, and I'm going to have to call the cops. I need you to leave.
$8 cash.
Get out of my store before I call the police. That is my last warning.
Let me just get the manager real quick to make sure that you guys don't actually
Get out of my store now.
No, come on, bro. Let me just get the manager real quick.
Out. I have the number pulled up, dude.
The manager?
No, for the police department. I need you to leave my store now.
The manager's the only one that can call the cops.
Currently, I am the manager.
Why are you coming at me?
Out of my store.
I am leaving, bro.
And I'm still on the phone with the police department.
No, I'm done, bro. I'm out of here, bro. This is.
It was a freaking CD player.
So, dude obviously takes the job very seriously. He looks like the traditional Reddit mod, or you know, I guarantee this guy has pronouns in bio, but I'm just throwing it out there. But there's multiple layers to this.
Also, where did this take place?
Don't know. In GameStop. That's all we know, is that it's in a GameStop, but I don't know the exact location of it. So I wanted to get y'all's initial thoughts to GameStop employee being that.
They're getting a lot of bad press these days, man. Because I just saw another video where some GameStop employee stabbed a customer or something crazy like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the training is like for that company right now, but
right,
it's not looking too good.
I posted this over. Phillip, what are your thoughts?
The fact that he tried to sell Okama Gamesphere from like South Park to the GameStop, like for me, like if it was green and if I was the guy, I would actually just mess with him. I was like, yo, did you know when this came out, man? Everyone's trying to get this. It was crazy. I heard there was like 4 boys that basically like skipped school or something like that and played it like throughout the whole entire weekend. And their parents got pissed. Yeah, this is like I would probably like mess with him,
right?
But I'd be like, no, I don't think we can tell that here. Yeah,
and I think that's go ahead.
No, but like I think he should have. For me, I would have humored him just a little bit. But like, hey, I'm sorry. This is obviously a CD player. We can't sell this. I mean, we can't buy this from you.
Right. Right.
But yeah, it was like it's sort of weird that like that guy who was filming him stayed inside the store.
Oh well, right. It's definitely a hidden camera type thing. You know, where I don't think the guy knew. You know, the guy clearly didn't know that he was being filmed in this situation, but. And Kalichi's right. He says his loss, the GameSphere is going to go for $2,000 now. Well, yeah, that's true. And like, look, to be clear, yes, the kid was, you know, trying to get content, and it is what it is. And I do think I'm with you on that, Verbal, right? I think like, why not just, or Phillip, I'm not sure who said it, but just like, why don't you just go along with it for a little bit instead of just being such a hard ass?
I mean,
I did post this.
Like, if he had. Okay, if its store's busy, I can understand being a little short with somebody because, like, dude, I got things to do. I got people to take care of, right? It was empty. Like, he didn't have to go full asshole.
I I 100% agree with you, right? Like the idea that there's not another person in the store right now, and he just kind of flipped the switch of like, I'm in power now. Pay attention. I'm going to call the cops. And so I posted this over on X, and there's a lot of good perspective on this. And like I said, I'm not mad at anybody here. It's just the guy seems like he flipped the switch to angry pretty quick. I said, why are GameStop employees so mad all the time? And he said, Mage Leader, who watched the show, says, ever work at one or ever seen or smelled the clientele? You'd probably be angry too if you spent all day dealing with that kind of for that kind of pay. Enigma worked there for a decade. It's because the company treats their employees like shit. Beatings will continue until morale improves. Should be their company motto. Brandon over at Ripperverse says, I know a few people who work at GameStop, and they said it sucks working there. This employee is dipshit, though. Instead of turning this into a funny bit and going along with it, he does all this extra crap. So I do feel like when you go into a GameStop, there is this, like, at least in the GameStops that I've been to locally, and this may be different at everybody's or video game store, there is this I don't know. Have you guys ever encountered the snobbiness of the GameStop employee who thinks they know more than everybody because they work at GameStop?
Oh yeah. I mean, you see that
Yeah.
a lot of comic book stores too, but yeah, same type of person.
That's actually a great analogy.
I'm a woman. They don't usually talk to women, so I never experienced that problem.
The comic book guy is not just a meme from The Simpsons. Worst comic ever, whatever. There's a lot of comic book guys in the video game world as well. Just their video game guy, So, anyways, just a fun little video I found online. Thought it was good. Marmalade says they're not changing anything. Talking about Lego, he says they're just not selling me a potato Lego, which I would have 100% bought. They aren't just using the language. Thanks, Marmalade. And Ian says, check out my pirate Lego set. You'll notice from the lanyard that the first mate has a hidden disability, which I'll explain in detail. That's right. Thank you, Ian. Mercenary says, remember my Pokemon box is 2,000, new and graded 10,000. Easy, Mercenary. Just relax. Jamie says, it wasn't Ricky. It wasn't Ricky, was it, to get his fortune, Phil? Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that. B.A. Killington says, Mercenary is right, but not for the reason he thinks. A sealed copy of Final Fantasy VII in 2004 is probably worth like $50, not $6,000. This is true. All right, we will get to the rest of your super chats and direct donations and plus memberships throughout this show. But first, let's move on to this. This was pretty funny to see. Did you see the leak of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered being a thing this morning? This was being passed around very early as it was discovered on Reddit. There's some leaked screenshots directly from the developer's website. You got the before and after pictures here from the 2006 to 2025 version. You can see the upgrades here. This was discovered over on Reddit. And what you're going to find here is they have these screenshots here on Reddit of what it looked like, including some trailers and such. Looks like they were just uploaded all at one time. And as soon as they're uploaded, people found them. Like, people are scouring the internet. But now, when you go to the link of the website, guess what? It is forbidden, and they have locked it all off. So, where there's smoke, there's fire. It looks like we got Oblivion returning sometime soon. More so than Oblivion returning or Elder Scrolls 4. I just think it's fascinating that these were uploaded and then like almost immediately found, because the internet is undefeated in a situation like this. Phillip, your thoughts?
I think that's hilarious, but I think this is gonna get people hyped. Like, it's like, oh, if it's a leak, it's a leak. Okay, it is what it is, right? It's like, yes, you may have seen, videos or footages circling the internet. Get hyped. Yeah, we're redoing Oblivion. Like, for me, I've never played any like Elder Scrolls games. Like, I do actually, like, someone actually gifted me Skyrim. I just never played it. But
that's a
yeah,
sin,
like,
man.
yeah, like I still have it. It's like, hey, you need to play Skyrim. Like, it's like, you need to try it. And I was like, with mods or no mods? Like, try it with no mods first. But yeah, like, I know like people love these games, so like this is gonna be huge. Like I heard Oblivion is like it's really really good.
It's an amazing game. I'm looking way forward to this. I'm a big Elder Scrolls guy. I played Morrowind. I played Oblivion. I lost a year of my life on Skyrim, man. Like I don't think I left my house for like 6 months just playing that game, man. I love Skyrim. So I'm looking forward to it. I've always hoped they would do this with damn it, what's the name of that Star Wars game? The Star Wars RPG that came out before
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, Knights of the Republic. I kind of hope they would do that with that. They talked about it for years and never happened, but the fact that Oblivion happened this fast, I'm excited. I can't wait. It's definitely a day one purchase for me.
You think this is a leak on purpose type of thing where maybe they're like, hey, look at this, check this out, just to kind of get people talking about it? Is this,
I'm sure it is. Come on,
4D
man.
marketing
Nothing is done on accident anymore. You know what I mean? It's all purpose.
Well, so as a fan, you said this is a day one purchase for you, huh?
Oh, easily. I love the first Oblivion, and I mean it's getting remastered. It's only going to be that much better graphically. So yeah, I'm in.
Siphon came in as a member for a year. Says, I remember when GameStop employees would brag about being insiders because they worked in the quote video game industry as a kid. I would believe them. That's funny. Just sad and miserable that, yeah, right. To kind of further that along, thank you, Siphon. I remember the reason, okay, E3 doesn't exist anymore, right? But E3 was a big part of the video game industry for decades, right? Did you ever go to any Verbal Ride?
Oh, I used to go every year.
Yeah,
every year, man. Even to the last one, and honestly, to me, still the best con. I think E3 is better than San Diego Comic-Con.
Definitely a different vibe. I went to 13 of them over my career, and so I saw the highs and the lows. I saw the biggest and I saw the smallest when they totally rebooted it in 2017 or 2007, and they're like, everybody gets a 10 by 10 space, and it was horrible. But one of the reasons why E3 was ruined was because they got super, super generous with handing out passes to where your GameStop manager was like, well, they got 15,000 GameStop managers and they all got passes to go to E3, right? And the idea is noble. The idea of like, hey, we want you to see what's coming. Like, I get it, right? But that's how things got super inflated and bloated, I think, was actually because of GameStop and their initiatives of bringing all their, or at least offering up passes to their managers. That's how you get 65, 70,000 people. And then the people who are actually talking about the games on a day-to-day basis, they couldn't share the information with their audience at the time. So because they got to sit their way through all the GameStop employees. So. All right, let's go and move on and continue talking about Nintendo. Look, we've been talking about Nintendo a lot, man. And there is a lot of talk about, there's this demo, this welcome tour to the Nintendo Switch 2. They're going to charge like between $6 and $10, whatever it is. The point is that they're charging for this tech demo of the Switch 2. And if you go back to the Wii in 2006 when it was released, I saw this story about how Reggie Fils-Aimé was adamant about how Wii Sports needed to be included with the Wii, but Nintendo didn't want to include it with the Wii. And because Nintendo they don't like to give away their product because people work on it, right? They value it. They create good products. And I think when we watch this clip, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about here, because without Reggie there to kind of be the counterpunch, that's how you get this welcome tour being a paid product now, as opposed to it being bundled with the game. But this is from an IGN podcast where he tells this story, and I think it's important to listen to the whole thing. And we can stop and start as we go along. But following the price reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2 welcome tour, former Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé posted a link to this video on how he fought against Shigeru Miyamoto to have Wii Sports as a free pack-in for the Wii. So he fought to make it free and help the Wii become a huge success in the West. We need more people like Reggie at Nintendo. So here is this clip here, which we can check out and see what he had to say.
You have a few Miyamoto stories, and one of the ones that stood out to me was during the debate over whether or not to pack in Wii Sports with the Wii, and Miyamoto pushed back pretty hard against that, and it was it was like one of the biggest points of discussion, and kind of one of the bigger wins for you.
Yeah, it's an understatement to say that Mr. Miyamoto pushed back. During the development of the Wii and the Wii Sports software, again, the goal was, we wanted this system to be attractive not only to the most active players but to new players, and to bring them into the video gaming experience. And we saw Wii Sports as the way to be able to do that, because each of these sports made great use of the Wii remote. Each sport was known by a global population, right? People know what golf is, they know what bowling is, they know what baseball is. And my recommendation was that we pack Wii Sports in with the hardware. And literally, when I first made this suggestion, Mr. Miyamoto said, Reggie, Nintendo does not give away software for free. You don't understand how hard our developers work to create compelling content like this. Now, fortunately, because my SNES came packed in with software, I knew that, in fact, the company has given away software in the past, but it was against a very strategic objective. And that was my commentary back to Mr. Miyamoto, that by including Wii Sports, we would immediately have value in the hardware as the consumer is opening it up and setting it up. But more importantly, we would have a touchstone piece of software that so many consumers would experience. They would talk about it. It's what led to Wii Sports being played in bars, being played on cruise ships, being played in retirement homes. It became, this universal experience. But he was not happy when I first made the suggestion, to the point where, on a subsequent visit to Kyoto and the headquarters, the team showed me software that would become Wii Play. So a collection of mini games, and those themselves were fun as well, but they didn't have the connective tissue that Wii Sports had with all of the experiences. So then I proceeded to piss Mr. Miyamoto off again by suggesting that we bundle Wii Play with the Wii Remote. And he was not happy about that either. But in the end, in the Americas and in Europe, Wii Sports was packed in with the Wii proposition. It was not in Japan, which created a bit of a test market. And it was obvious that in the markets where Wii Sports was packed in, that Wii became much more of a phenomenon. Wii Sports itself became much more of a phenomenon. And we did pack the remote with Wii Play, and I think it became the fifth best-selling piece of software in the history of Wii. So
that's right.
A couple early wins for me, and luckily initiatives that worked in the marketplace.
So you hear all that. I thought it was a really interesting story to kind of to talk about how there's actually pushback, specifically of like Shigeru Miyamoto. A lot of people look at him as this, obviously the creator of Mario, the creator of Zelda. He can do no wrong, right? But there's obviously a big difference in culture there. Obviously, the idea of like, we worked on this, and we don't want to give it away for free, but the business aspect of it from Reggie Fils-Aimé obviously was really, really important. And bringing it back to the original story of like the Switch 2 bundling the tour, whatever it's called. It feels like they're missing a Reggie Fils-Aimé right now at Nintendo to kind of do that. Phillip, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, it's that game looks so stupid in my opinion. I know people are like, "Oh, I played it. Like, it looks pretty cool. It's fun and stuff." It's like it looks really dumb. Come on, you have a console that's leaps and bounds better than the Switch 2 would ever be, and that's PS5, and it came with Astro's Playroom, and that game is fucking phenomenal. It was so good that it actually got a sequel that eventually became Game of the Year, which I, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been, but I digress. It's you Astro Playroom is so fun compared to what I've seen from that little Nintendo Switch 2 tour looking like World Tour or whatever. And they should have just gone like it's like $10. It's not a lot. And you're 100% correct. Like we need a Reggie Fils-Aimé type of person. And I don't think Doug Bowser is that type of person that will provide that. Look, like that game looks so boring. Like maybe you can go inside, you can actually mess with the actual mouse controls on the Joy-Cons, but like that looks very boring and it's not a game that I would play, and I would not definitely buy this. Like even though if it came with the console, I wouldn't play it. That's how boring it looks. Maybe just try it while I'm waiting, but like if I'm gonna buy the console, might as well just get Mario Kart World instead.
Yeah, I don't get it. As expensive as the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be, like why it doesn't come with just some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of welcoming software like Mario Kart. Like come with something big, because I mean if you're going to charge that much for that system, it got to come with something, man. It can't just be the hardware.
I think Craig's on.
I definitely agree, and he goes back to the. Let me refresh.
Yeah,
me refresh one.
You're on a delay. Bye, Craig. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, continue, guys.
Yeah, I'm just I keep hearing this crazy price for the Nintendo Switch. And I know it keeps changing. Some say it's 400, some say it's 500. I don't know what the actual price is, but I was never a huge Nintendo Switch guy. So for me, I'm thinking, why would I drop $500 and no game or nothing at all, no software?
Mm-hmm. Great.
I think there's definitely something to the idea of bundling. Reggie talked about the original Super Mario World being bundled on Super Nintendo. On the NES, they bundled Super Mario Brothers. They bundled Super Mario Duck Hunt. They did Super Mario Duck Hunt and Track and Field. Like Nintendo has a history of bundling when a new product is added, and maybe the thought process is like, this is more of the same. This is the Switch 2. It's just the Switch 1, just a little bit better. Which actually brings us to this the next little story that I wanted to talk about was there is a former head over at Sony who was a Japanese businessman and former president of Sony Worldwide Studios for Sony Interactive Entertainment. Yoshida came out and talked about how Nintendo could potentially be losing their unique identity with the upcoming Switch 2, which falls into everything we're talking about here. He says Yoshida argued that the primary focus of the Switch 2 is to enhance the capabilities of the original Switch, which is a common strategy adapted by other companies. He asserted that this approach doesn't truly set Nintendo apart and contributes to the perception that the company's identity is being diluted. Because it's a better Switch, the core premise of the whole Switch 2 is, we made things better. And that's something other companies have been doing for a long time, right? So would love to hear your thoughts on that, Philip.
Yeah, like Nintendo has always been we're not the latest and greatest, but we are innovative. So it's sort of like I'm gonna bring it into like, I guess, gun terms. Like there's this company called Caltech, and they're based off of Florida, and the guns that they create are like wacky, like weird, like nobody will probably buy them. They made out of maybe like fake like pot metal or something like that, but it's like at least it's innovative, it's new. It's like this is definitely a very different take on how to make things, and Nintendo is that. Like when the Wii came out, like everyone's like, what's this Wiimote? And everyone loved it. And the Wii U, they sort of messed that up, but then when the Switch came out, everyone was like, wow, this is huge and innovative. Yes, the graphic isn't that great, but we're going to try to pack as much processes, and maybe even like the fact that game can, like, Switch can play Monster Hunter Rise in that way, like it feels like that game was made for something else, and they can actually make that efficient in that console. Like that's what Nintendo's known for. This one is like nothing different. It's like, okay, you're gonna get this extra mouse thing. Okay, if you're gonna give us a feature, give us a free game that comes with it to mess with that feature. But it's not. It's like $10. Yes, $10 is not a lot, but it's still so sort of scummy, the fact that we do know that the Mario Kart World game is $80. And it's just gonna pave the way for other companies, such as like people who are working on GTA 6. It's like, oh, if we're gonna follow suit and make our games more expensive now, since Nintendo did it. And since one company did it, we're gonna do it moving forward. And it's not anything new, right? And plus, a lot of like older folks would be like, Nintendo Switch 2. It's like, what's the difference? I could just buy you the OG. Like a boomer would just do that. It's like, oh, you don't need the Switch 2. You have a Switch 1. I'll just get you the Switch 1. It's the same thing that happened with the Wii U. And that's why, like, I call it the "we fuck you." Unfortunately, sorry, Iwata, but
Damn,
man,
relax.
it's not.
Mercenary came in and says Iwata equals the soul, Reggie equals the heart, Memento equals the brains. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely a shift in culture happening at Nintendo right now. At least that's what it feels like. But people are still excited for the Switch 2, which we'll continue the story here in just a second. But Adulio came in at the 12, says, as Reggie's story showed, Nintendo has always been a very greedy company. And the times they appear consumer friendly is because we were lucky and had people like Reggie looking out for the customers during those era. It seemed like our luck has run out. Thanks, Adulio. Appreciate that. There's always a pendulum when it comes to these things. And I think Reggie saying that and pointing that out, ultimately what that did was bigger than the idea of like, look, Wii Sports sold a lot of games. What Wii Sports did was, yes, it sold a lot of games, but it sold a lot more games than Wii U by showing off what the Wii can do. It was the best tech demo ever. And I think that's what we're missing here from the Switch 2. If the Switch 2 is that impressive, like, do you think a mom's gonna be like, I really want to learn how to use this system? Oh, I just bought this $450 system, possibly $500, possibly $600, whatever it is. Oh, and they want me to pay $6 to $10 to buy this instruction booklet or something? What? That doesn't sound very fun to me, So I don't get it. I don't get it personally.
I guess the thing I don't understand about any of this is what does he mean by lose their identity? Like, what does that mean exactly?
I think that Nintendo has always had an identity of, well, specifically in the last 20 years, really since the GameCube came out. Because I think when the GameCube came out, they were trying to compete from a graphical standpoint, and then they realized that they couldn't do that, and they didn't necessarily need to do that. And the GameCube led to the Wii. And the Wii was very innovative at its time, right? It was something that nobody had ever seen, the motion controls and everything that went there. And this goes back to the idea that I don't think Nintendo itself makes video games. I think Nintendo makes Nintendo games, right? And they have a product that is different. It's Microsoft versus Sony, and then there's Nintendo over here doing its own thing. And I think that is widely thought of as kind of how things are in the industry, because you don't see a whole lot of third-party games go to Nintendo consoles because they're drastically underpowered. It's actually more work to underpower your game. I think of like the Call of Duty games that go, they're always like potato mode when they go to a Nintendo console. They're there, but nobody goes there for them. They go there for their Nintendo games. So I think that's where the sentiment of like them losing their identity comes from, personally.
So the Switch 2 losing its identity has to do with the fact that they're focusing on games that would normally be bigger, like on PlayStation or Xbox, or is it just that does he feel like they're moving away from actual quote unquote Nintendo games, or like I'm trying to understand his logic in this.
I think the idea of innovation. I think that's the biggest thing. We've seen a PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We're going to see a PlayStation 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've seen an Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox Series X, but it's always the Xbox, right? That's the brand. And every time it's, here's something a little bit stronger. Here's something a little bit bigger. Here's something that can play games a little bit better. And Nintendo has always been like, here's a way you can play your games differently, right? You can do whatever, and even from like the Wii U to the Switch, the hook at the Switch was, hey, you can play your games on your TV and you can take it on the go. Oh, and by the way, you can take off the control pads, you can rotate your controllers. And now with the Switch 2, it's like, here's a more powerful version of the Switch.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what he's going for here. And for the first time, we're seeing just Nintendo saying we have perfected our vision of a video game console, and from here on out, it's only going to get stronger. I think that's what his thought.
But
process.
how different could the Switch 2 could have been? I mean, like what is he expecting here? Like, did he expect like a completely new, completely different system altogether than the Switch 1?
Well, I think that there's a no, I don't think he's looking for that much different. But really, the only thing that's different about the Switch and the Switch 2 is that you can use the Joy-Cons as a mouse. Right? That's like the only killer feature that was not on the Switch 1 outside of, new games. So I think people expect a little bit more from Nintendo, and maybe that's just their own doing, I would say. They've been so innovative for such a long time. They've always kind of pushed and gone the other direction of what Sony and Microsoft are doing, that for the first time it sounds like, it's more the same from Nintendo, which something that generally isn't said a whole lot. So
has there been a council for pre-sales for this thing yet?
Oh, it's going to sell out. Yeah. It's going to sell out. It doesn't, it's just a matter of like what the long tail sales of this are going to be like. Sure. Is it going to sell 150 million units, or is it going to sell 100? Is it going to sell 60? And like if it sells 100, I think it's a failure personally. But here's the problem, right? People say things like that, and then there's like footage of this shit that happens. And I just put this in the run sheet as like, God damn it, Nintendo. This is what I mean, where like they somehow snake charm you back into stuff like this. God damn it. It's so cute. And you just recognize which side of the controller you shake, and you make Donkey Kong bang his chest. And you're like, "Dah!" So then they
know what they're doing.
Yes, they do. Sucks.
They're like the ice cream man with the candy. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing.
Yeah. They will suck your ass in, man. It's crazy.
I can always complain about it, but I'm still gonna be a dick sucker and buy one.
I know you are. Yeah, that's the thing. We're all part of the problem.
Good luck getting one, man. Apparently.
Yeah.
Marius says there's only so much Mario, Donkey Kong, and Zelda go around. With how poorly optimized games are these days, the Switch 2 will be virtually useless for third-party titles in 2 years' time. Thank you, Marius. Well, the thing is, while there is only so much Mario, DK, and Zelda to go around, that's why people buy the consoles to begin with. So as long as those games are optimized for it, then it doesn't really matter. Tamamo says, "Hey guys, dropping in late as I just got home from work, so we got to rewind. Unfortunately, nearly got run over on the way home because someone jumped a red that has been there for like
was
5
it extra
seconds.
Emily?
Yeah, nice deep cut right there. Yeah, thank you, Tamamo, and glad you're home, buddy. Watch out for those extra Emilys out there."
Here's a quick question I have though. Is there backwards compatibility with this system? Like, can you play the? Okay.
Yeah, which I actually think it's like obviously great, but I think that actually could hurt the sales, because I've said this before. I think the Switch 1 is going to see a spike in sales, because when you look at the Switch 2 over here and the reduced cost of the Switch 1 over here, parents are going to go and be like, well, there's $80 games over here, and there's $50 to $60 games over here, and this console's $400 to $500 over here. This one is $200, $250 to $300. I'm going to go with this one over here, and they do pretty much the same thing, So I think the Switch 1 will actually see a spike in sales from this. So, also, Abdulio came into the 12 more. Says as for DEI changing its wording from what Kirsha has been reporting, the new phase to look out for is belonging. That seems to be the most commonly used replacement and should be a red flag when spotted in corporate messaging. Yes, belonging. And Kirsha's been doing great work. Kirsha will be joining us Thursday, yes? Blabs?
I'm pulling up spreadsheet. Yes, Thursday.
Yes, very good. All right. Looking forward to that. All right. Phillip, you said that you're going to be a dick sucker and you're going to buy it anyways. Well, guess what? There's already somebody in line for the Switch 2. There's a YouTuber named Chicken Dog, and he started in line in front of Nintendo New York on April 5th, and he's vlogging his experience for 2 months, planned for 2 months. And I don't know how. What's
How
that,
does
Blabs?
this work? How does this work? Do you go home? Do you go to work? Do you just stand there for 2 months straight? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's like a homeless man at this point.
Yeah, well, that's cultural appropriation, bro. Don't pretend to be homeless.
He's just sleeping in front of a store.
Yeah, how does that work? And it's like,
I'll live here for 2 months.
Well,
I don't get it.
he is.
Where does he go to the bathroom?
Well, see, these are all questions that I don't know. How do you get food? How do you get it? Whatever, right? So he is. Let's just kind of check out his latest vlog over here.
Diapers, maybe.
Ew.
Maybe
He's an
Uber-
advertisement for Depends.
Right. Well, this is his vlog from day 9 here, and Chicken Dog, just over 3,000 subscribers. Good for him. He's definitely doing this as a publicity thing. Spending 2 months. I don't know why you'd want to spend 2 months doing it, but he's literally just sitting outside the Nintendo store, rain or shine. This has got to be at a certain point. Aren't you making yourself a target if you're just sitting out there for your Switch 2?
How much I bet this guy just stands here for like 30 minutes a day, films his little content, and then goes home?
I don't know. I mean, there he is right there, right? This is him over here on the left-hand side. And then this guy's a little weird. Okay, he's cosplaying as Weird Luigi here. But how much can you really share?
Not cosplaying.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
oh man.
What? Let's just say he's inside the store at this point, looking around. Let's just say hypothetically, and I guess
work there because he'll just know what everything is after 2 months.
Well, what if he was out here doing this? And look, as somebody who was, I stood in line for the PS3 for 5 days. This was back in 2006 or whatever it was, right? And I did exactly what this guy was doing, except 20 years ago. And there was no, like, I vlogged it at the time. There was no.
Did you have a tent?
It was in Texas, so we didn't really have to worry about that. But I did have a big ass throne. Actually, it was pretty cool. My dad made me a big old throne. So
a throne like a toilet or like an actual throne seat?
Like an actual throne, Blabs.
Street toilet.
Yes. But here's what happened.
This is my John.
What was interesting about this, and so I'm in a unique situation where I can actually speak about this. And mine was 5 days compared to 60. But what happened was I stood outside the local Best Buy. I was the first person in line. And what happened was people started going, oh shit, he's in line. So I better get in line. So there was a social contagion aspect of it where I thought I was going to be the only one in line for probably 3 or 4 days. And I was just going to sit outside and I had a tent and stuff. And
so you did have a tent.
Yeah, for sure. I was totally set up, and when I needed to go to the restroom, I'd go inside Best Buy and I'd go to the restroom, right?
So you didn't shower for 5 days?
No.
Ick.
Yeah, it was gross. But after I think 2 days, people were like, oh shit. So then they started getting in line. All of a sudden the line became 2. Then the line became 4. And then with 2 days to go, there's 15 people waiting outside. And it became this like camaraderie thing with like 48 hours to go where everybody's in it together. Now, I don't think anybody's stupid enough to get in line and wait, 50 days with this dude. But I do think that the line outside the Nintendo store will probably be pretty jacked up by the time, we're 3 or 4 days out. So. Oh
man, this guy standing outside the store smells like shit. I better get in line behind him.
Right. Well, I mean, he's in New York, so it is what it is. There's a lot of shitty smelling people there. So,
dude, and I thought the people who slept out for Comic-Con were crazy, man, because that was only one night. I mean, Jesus.
Right.
People were actually doing that over the weekend. There was a Harry Potter shop in Chicago opening up. So, why the hell would you sleep outside in Chicago, right? But they were doing that for a store opening. It wasn't even like some type of new console or anything for a store to open in Chicago.
What's the longest? Let's just say, all right, there was a Harry Potter screening with J.K. Rowling. Okay. And they're like, this is limited edition. Only 100 people can go to this. It's free. It's free to go to, and it's going to be whatever. Number one, would you be interested in going to that event?
Depends depends on where it is. If it's like in Chicago,
Okay,
I'm good, man. I don't want to
in your
die.
it's in your hometown. Or
Oh,
whatever.
well, then I'll be the only one there. So
Okay,
yeah,
Blab,
I'll totally go.
you're destroying the hypothetical here. The idea is, would you be interested in doing this? And if so, how long would you
I'd probably
camp out?
only be out there for a day. I'm not gonna not shower just to sit outside and be smelly to meet someone. Like, no, self-respect.
So showering is more important than your Harry Potter fandom.
Yeah, I'll be okay, man. I want to be clean, not be gross, dude. No.
Dude, I have a lot of fandoms I love, and I'm telling you right now, as a 51-year-old man, there is no way I'm sleeping on the ground for anything. I want to sleep on the ground for sex. So I mean, like,
hey, this man has his principles.
I will not sleep. I don't like camping. I will not sleep on the ground, man.
I appreciate your being a man of your principles there.
That's right.
Wonderful. Tom Momo says, honestly, I totally forgot about Extra Emily. Have another 10 for that great comment that made me giggle and cheered me right up. Montez. And we're closing in on our Montez goal today. Let's see if we can hit it. I think we have, four more to go. And then Verbal Riot will pick our Montez animation for the day. Marmalin adds to that. It says, Phil, shame for display. For your Final Fantasy.
Shameful display.
Thank you, Dan, for being a member. Appreciate that. And Brother Snape says extra Emily cart now available on Nintendo. There you go. All right. Let's go and keep moving on. Talking about Nintendo here. As our title story for the day, Nintendo Switch modder has been handed down a suspended prison sentence in Japan for the first time. A 58-year-old Japanese man has been sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 3 years for modding and selling Switch consoles. Blabs, you saw the story first. I'll let you guide us through this.
Well, honestly, it's a bit insane. I mean, listen, here's the thing. I don't know Japanese law or anything, but just straight off the bat. So this guy mods the consoles and then he flips them and sells them basically jailbroken, modded, right? And they're now putting him in jail. And it's like, bro, that's insane to me. You want to fine him? Sure. Put him in jail for that? I think the best thing to do is just to read this. So I'll read this really fast. Last year, Japan saw its first arrest related to modifying and reselling Nintendo Switch consoles when a 58-year-old man from Ibaraki Prefecture was taken into police custody. Following up the case a year later, NTV News report on April 14th that the man has been found guilty by the Japanese court, resulting in a suspended prison sentence and fine, which sets yet another precedent. And it goes on to say, the man was initially arrested on suspicion of soldering modified parts of the circuit boards of used Nintendo Switch consoles and selling them online for about $195 per unit. The consoles were modded so that they could run pirated games.
Nice. I mean, what?
Which is cool, you know? And then it says, in a hearing held on April 14th, the court found the man guilty of infringing on Nintendo's trademark rights and other violations. He has thus been sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 3 years, and a fine of approximately $3,500.
It's a pretty big.
That's steep, man.
Yeah, it's a big precedent set right there. As you're going in and you got two years in jail for modding and, you know, turning around and selling them. I mean, let's say he went out and bought the used Switches, modified them a little bit, and like, who doesn't love pirate? I mean, who doesn't love totally legal games that you can play on things like that?
He's 58 years old. Like, come on, what the fuck, man? You're gonna put him in jail for that when he's 58 already? Like, oh.
Hey, 58 ain't that old.
No, I'm not saying like that old, but like, he's already,
damn,
like,
Blabs.
Life,
I've accepted I'm an old man. I'm good.
Listen. I would not agree with putting him in prison whatsoever. You want to fine him? Sure. Okay, I can understand fining because yes, he is infringing on their copyright, regardless if I agree with what he's doing or not. But put him in prison, bro.
What is a suspended prison sentence? Like, what does that mean?
I don't even know. I think it's like some type of probation.
So he doesn't go to jail. He's just
no. But it says he does go to jail, but it's also suspended. Right? Let me pull that back up. Or maybe come back. It says he has been sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 3 years. So yeah, I think it's like he's on probation for like 3 years, but he's still in jail for 2 years, right?
But is it jail or house arrest or because suspended means it doesn't happen, right? So he got convicted for it, but if it's suspended, he doesn't serve the time, right?
Well, no, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm assuming just because I hear suspended, that sounds like, well, that's
Chat says he doesn't go to jail. It's 1 year in probation instead of 2. So then he goes to jail for 1 year and then he's in probation, like some sort of house arrest for 2 years. I don't know. Chat's saying he's not going to jail. Now I'm very confused. Craig, do you understand this?
Nope, I don't understand anything. I just saw it on the internet. So there you go.
All right. Well, I actually don't understand.
Unless it just means like it's on his record now that he's been convicted, but his sentence was home arrest maybe or something.
Well, as long as he doesn't get jail time, then I'm fine with it. Like, don't put the man in jail for that.
Can you imagine going to jail for modding, going to prison for modding? You're sitting there with like killers and rapists and rapists. And,
exactly. It's like, what the hell?
You're modding a video game system.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did some soldering on a Switch.
What are you in for, bro?
He's like, I'm about to do some soldering on your ass. Let's go.
Like, you dropped that bar of soap.
That's right.
See, like me going to prison for opening a game that costs $5,000. I feel like that's more worth it to go to jail for. Yeah, I deserve to go to jail for that.
That's fucked up.
That's deserved.
Reese says with the 5 says, you guys can stay in the boat, but I'm abandoning ship. If I'm going to spend over $500 for a game machine, I'm just buy a Steam Deck. There you go, Reese. I feel like a lot of people will mimic that.
That is fair.
Dan says, today my mother and sister got the Minecraft Happy Meal for lunch, which is weird to me, question block. I'll never see the movie. Got the zombie hamburglar. Looks cool. I'll put it on my desk. Let's go, Dan. Good for you. And John says, to our guest, who is the hottest character in Marvel Rivals? Blabs says Venom because of the Venom booty. Any thoughts on the hottest character in Marvel Rivals? And let's not make it weird, John.
Oh man, I would say Emma is she's pretty attractive. Like, given the fact that like she has a strong jaw, don't get me wrong, but like those thighs are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Those thighs have
dreams of those thighs on his face.
You know what? That is fair.
Yeah.
Well,
getting crushed by those thighs would be a good way to go.
Death by snoo.
Well, then you also have Venom over here twerking his ass off.
That one is
Right here.
why.
Honestly,
I mean, he does have a nice butt, but I find it very like awful. What the heck?
that has been the worst part of this game, man. I play this game every day. I love it to death, and every time I get in the game, somebody's twerking. I'm like, guys, can we just shoot each other? Like, can we just like kill each other, please?
Tamamo came in and says, as far as I'm aware, suspended basically means you step a foot wrong in that 3 years period, you'll be sentenced to prison for that 2 year sentences. I'm no lawyer. That may be entirely wrong. Thanks, Tamamo. Appreciate that. And that makes sense. Mary says suspended sentence means that he won't go to jail unless he reoffends during that 2 year period.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know.
We may need to change the title of today's stream as we are idiots. All right, let's go and move on. We're running up against it, man. We've been chit chatting. We spent so much time talking about Phillip's horrible
Phillip's
moment.
regrets.
Phillip's shame. His shame.
We will not have time to hit all of our. We won't have time to hit all of our stuff on a run sheet, which means we're going to talk about a feminist space trip tomorrow
With Mally. That'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll be great. But before we do, we have one more story before we raid our own little content today of Blabs versus Zelda. Before we do, Verbal Riot, we have Montez. Blabs, I'll tell you what, Blabs, can you tell Verbal Riot what Montez is as best as possible?
Okay, so a couple months ago, there was this woman who was driving like an insane person, and she got out of the car to confront another person, and she started hitting this guy, and he was like, "Don't hit me," but she wouldn't really stop. So what he did was he basically picked her up and just threw her on the ground. But while this was happening, she was screaming for her boyfriend, who happens to be named Montez. Now Montez is nowhere to be found, mind you, but she's still going Montez as like she gets body slammed to the ground. So because of that happening, we've memed it since, and now we call it the Montez, even though like that's not who she is. She's screaming for Montez, but we've just rebranded it to just Montez. And so we've Phoenix, our lovely neighborhood Spider-Man, basically came and like did a whole bunch of memes for us. So now we have a bunch of Montez videos.
So instead of giving them the list, how about we just give you a number? Pick 1 through 9.
All right. I'm gonna go with 6.
6 it is.
Bitch!
And there we go. There's your Montez, little Super Mario Brothers today. Keeping it there. All right.
There are some talented people on these webs, man.
That's right. And they work for us, which is great. Let's go, Phoenix. All right. Let's go to this last story here. Before let's get some quick super chats real fast. That ghost says Flava Flav will be playing him cash change, although his clock will be magical. I'm talking about the
that would be amazing, man. Flava Flav and Harry Potter.
That'd be awesome.
He can stop time.
Commodore fan says that's Robot Vampire, and they have tons of nostalgic B-roll footage on their YouTube channel with no commentary. It's very relaxing to watch while I work. Thank you, Commodore fan. Raptor Kratos says there's 2 triple threat matches: women's Leo versus Bianca versus Rhea versus for the world title, and the men's Reigns versus Punk versus Rollins. I'm looking forward to the men. Rebound says unironically, I used to go to the mall as a kid to look at things I could not afford to have and listen to albums they had for customers to sample. Oh yes, we all did. Rebound. Mercenary says I have all 3 Pokemon games. Good for you. And Frost says next time you have Savvy on, she needs to hear Philip's story. Yeah, we should definitely see how that goes. Frost says never mind about Savvy. I thought Philip was talking about a Pokemon game. Oh.
Yeah, that's some lore. She basically stole stuff from the stereotypical Pokemon cards. It's fine.
Says now we know why Ricky Tan was so mad about Mr. Chan in Rush Hour 2.
He said that my father.
Goodrich Game says Phil, you have a sealed copy of Final Fantasy VII. I formally discharge you from the game industry. That's right. If you open that up, you're done. Marty says looking forward to Blabs versus Zelda. I had both NES games growing up in the 90s, and funnily enough, beat Adventure to Link before I could beat the second quest of the original. Loved them both, and the second, and still revisit them at least once a year. Awesome, Marty. Well, you're going to be revisiting them with Blabs and Blabs Versus here very, very shortly. Blabs, will you actually get the link to that, please, and put that as a pinned tweet or pinned chat, please? Joey says, Craig, I looked up the price for Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo graded. It's worth $6,775. Fuck. Mercenary says, you guys see why I get the guest to say Blabs is fired now, guys? Guys, tell Blabs she's fired. You don't have to if you don't want to, but everybody does.
You're fired.
That's good. Levistro says, I called the UN. Sadly, Philip violated Geneva Convention. Blabs, they laughed. Fave it. Philip, you're you're a war criminal now, Philip. Mercenary says, Craig, it's Final Fantasy VII. Aerith dies. It is worthless to me. Thank you, Mercenary. Little Orphan Funkhauser says, Philip really wanted to see Tifa's knockers, huh? When you're a little bitty there, Philip. Mac for 2 says,
did she show knockers back then?
You had to use your imagination. Mac says suspended prison is potential, so as long as he's a good boy for 3 years. And Marius says, thanks for reminding us about Philip's transgression. COVID is one thing, but opening someone else's sealed copy of Final Fantasy VII, unforgivable. Thank you, Marius. And Abdulio came back with 12 more. Says Switch 2 will have backwards compatibility with Switch 1, but it's doing it. I had a stroke for a second, but doing so via emulation, and some games won't run perfectly. Hopefully, they won't neglect updates for it. They have a webpage showing compatibility statuses for games such as much like Switch Star Wars 1 emus did, or Switch 1 emulation did. Thank you, Abdulio. Appreciate your support today. Greatly appreciate that. Okay, let's go to this last story. When people think of like the internet and insanity, a lot of people think 4chan Do you guys have any impression of 4chan before we get to the story, Phillip?
It was not Chinese. It's not created by a Chinese person, which I thought it was. I was like 4chan. What is this website? And I went there. I was like, this is it's like a weird search engine that I don't know how to use back in the day. I sort of know how to use it now, but I've only gone to like 4chan like twice. But yeah, like all I know is like all the deep dark stuff. Everyone can post stuff anonymously. But yes,
4chan always finds a way. Verbal Riot, what about you, man?
It's weird. I have always known about 4chan, never really experienced it, never went to the site. It's one of those things where I'm kind of surprised it still exists, if I'm being honest. Like, people still go to 4chan?
Well, it may not anymore, as 4chan was hacked. They leaked all the, they call them Jannies, that's like your moderators. Their IRC and the site is slowing down. This is massive. This is from Niche Gamer. Says 4chan hacked, moderator info, and more leaked. The controversial but popular message board site 4chan has reportedly been hacked and remains inaccessible to the public. The hackers crashed the 4chan.org site and leaked the personal info of all the moderators, or Jannies, revealing a bunch of information about how the site is run in the process. As of Tuesday morning, numerous users from around the world are reporting they're still unable to access the site, which Niche Gamer confirmed. Meanwhile, the leaks of the moderators' information revealed that very little work has been done to the site since Moot, the former owner, left in 2015. This appears to be how the site was hacked due to the hacker managing to get root access from an old version of FreeBSD. Even more alarming is that many users even more alarming to many users is that information that was leaked revealing the IP address and physical location of every 4chan user available to the mods at all times. As an X posted summarized, it's worse than that. All 4chan source code got dumped, and their IP and location of every single poster is visible to the mods at all times. They also wrote notes about individual posters. The site really was an FBI honeypot. Some people think this might be the end of 4chan, but it's more likely the site will be functional again in the next few weeks, albeit with fewer users due to controversial revelations of the hack. Some commenters called 4chan obsolete compared to what it was before Twitter became X. As a poster said, 4chan isn't as popular as it used to be because now you can post most stuff of the same stuff on X without getting suspended. Ye literally posted porn to tens of millions of people didn't get an hour timeout. So yes, this was the last post over on 4chan, which unironically is about the Minecraft movie and the chicken jockey thing, the meme that's been going on. But you can see the source code has been leaked over out there. And here is what's interesting. Apparently, the moderators got doxxed, and they're using .gov emails and .edu emails. So
I heard that.
Yes, which
the feds are all running 4chan. What a timeline!
Wow, so this is like a bigger story than it being hacked.
Yes, it could be for sure. And then we have this is slimy here, like super slimy. Whenever somebody was banned, there was a public reason why they were banned, but there was also for mods a private reason why they're banned. Whether it could be good or bad, you can kind of see here. This is the rundown. He doesn't have any personal information, at least as far as I can see, so I wouldn't show it otherwise. But it can tell us who was banned by, where they're banned, and the public reason. You will not post the following outside, right? And then the private reason, and you can see kind of what it is here, right? Which in this instance seems like a pretty bad thing, right? But something you probably shouldn't do. But you can see the private reason could lead to all sorts of interesting things happening.
My eyesight ain't what it used to be. What did the private reason say?
I can't say that out loud. But what I will do is
maybe Phillip can in some like really Asian accent.
There you go.
I did 100 posts plus posting the Jewish calling them a bundle of sticks.
There you go. So
Bundle of sticks.
you can kind of see what was going on with that. So, you know, like I said, I think 4chan will be back. But 4chan is, the reputation of 4chan is very mixed. Sometimes they do really, really crazy things. And sometimes they do some less than crazy things that can be seen as positive. But I don't know. Question for the chat: have you guys ever used 4chan? Do we have any 4chan users on our that watch us on a day-to-day basis? Have you guys ever? You know, Phillip, you said you've never really used 4chan before. What about you, Verbal? Right? You seem like a scum lord.
Nah, man. Look, I went to it one time like years ago. I didn't get it. Kind of like I don't get Reddit either, though. If I'm being honest with you, like I just don't get those sites for some reason. I'm just surprised that it still exists. But my question is, okay, now that people know this, now that they know, like, feds might be involved in this platform, are they still going to use it?
Right. Then that's the big question. I think is I do think that the reputation has been, for lack of a better word, tarnished, I suppose. There's definitely a amount of distrust if you see all the mods are feds and have .gov emails. I don't know how I feel about that, So
well, especially for a site that's supposed to be all anti that, right?
Right. And it's just been a giant honeypot. So crazy stuff, man. It's a silly story to say the least. But we'll see where this goes with 4chan here and the insanity that's happening over there on a day-to-day basis. So,
I mean, this could be the end of that site, if we're being honest.
It could be a 5chan.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guarantee somebody owns 5chan. And listen, in my expertise of seeing 1 through 5, you do not want to experience 5chan. You do not. All right. With that said, you can witness me seeing number 5 in the Sex with Hitler gameplay stream I did the other day, which is available to Plus members. Speaking of, you guys can head over and become members of Plus if you guys enjoy the show. Use promo code NOPE to get a free month over there. We'd love for you guys to head over there. Currently sitting at 429 members of Side Strollers Plus. I do encourage you to make a free account over there where you can join us this weekend, where I'll be doing a WrestleMania watch along, which will be available for everybody for free. So join me over there, over at Side Strollers Plus. Watch it for free with me. The WrestleMania watch party I'll be going live around a few minutes before 6 o'clock, and pretty much just going in and watching the main show. So join me over there, sidescrollersplus.com. Make a free account. Love for you guys to join in. With that said, Verbal Riot, please tell everybody where they can find you, my friend.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Verbal Riot on YouTube, Rumble, and X. I have a video coming out later today on Black Snape. I'll be with George the Giant Slayer tomorrow at 1 p.m. PST. My own show, VRL, will be back. Well, it's back. We took a hiatus for a little bit, but we're back live 6 p.m. Thursday, so you can catch me there live. And Saturday, you guys can always catch me on Yellow Flash.
Awesome. Love that. Just a minute, we're going to be making our way over to watch. Like I said, don't go anywhere. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, on Rumble, Blabs is going to get you the link so you can go check out Blabs versus The Legend of Zelda, playing it for the first time. So don't go anywhere. The page will automatically refresh you guys over on YouTube. Phillip, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on again. You guys can find me at Mr. Phillip Chan #2. That's my own personal channel. But if you guys want to follow more like a podcast style thing, check out Project Egg Roll. We go live every Saturday. Not this Saturday, I don't think, since like I'm in Vegas. But yes, you guys can check me out on X as well. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, guys, stay right there. We're going to be heading over to watch Blabs versus. It's going to say it's to be going live, and in 22 minutes. It won't. I'm going to change the time on the back end, and we're gonna pretty much get it going ASAP. So, guys, have a great rest of your day. Go check out Blabs versus Legend of Zelda starting right now. In the meantime, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and we will be in the chat for Blabs versus coming right up. Have a great day. See you later. Bye.
Fatality.